How's it going, everyone out there in YouTube land? This is Comic Hoarder 410, Matt, doing my entry to White James Brandon's subscriber contest. And one of the first question he asked actually was, who would you like to see more of? And one of the videos I was watching, a young lady, I think her name was La Raza, mentioned Hellboy, and I think that's a good call. He's one of my favorite new characters. I think one of the best new characters of the past 20 years in comics, and I really love the books Dark Horse has been putting out. But unfortunately, last year they didn't put out many books. They did that Hellboy in Hell, or Goes to Hell, whatever it was called, and that was it last year. And this year they haven't put out anything. And supposedly next month or September they have a 3-issue mini called Itty Bitty Hellboy coming out. But they really haven't been putting out many Hellboy books, which is strange because he's been getting more popular. So I think that's a really good call. They need to publish more Hellboy stuff. And just wanted to show these two covers, even though they're not by Mike Mignola. They're by Richard Corbin, who's one of my favorites. Love that cover of Hellboy in Mexico. And there's cover to Crooked Man #2, also by Corbin. But yeah, Dark Horse, you got the guy there, you're paying him. More Hellboy. Of course I couldn't just pick, one or two guys I want to see more of, but the two Marvel characters I'd like to see more of. Actually, what's cool is some of the characters I would have named if you'd asked me not too long ago. I would have said maybe Thanos or Longshot and Dazzler, but they're actually using all of them pretty well right now, I must say. We'll see how this stuff with Thanos pans out, but it's interesting. But I think they need to bring back Blade. Part of the problem with some of these characters is just haven't had the best creative teams on them, and I think that's why their books don't last. But Blade they haven't even used since 2008, and that was in Captain Britain and whatever it is, and MI6 or M13, whatever it was called. And they need to bring Blade back properly. That's one of my favorite Blade covers, where he's fighting a Spidey vampire by Marko Djurjevic, or Djurjevic, however you say his name. That's a beauty of a cover. Other character from Marvel I'd like to see more of is Man-Thing. They brought him back recently in Thunderbolts and really started showing the scope of his amazing powers, which is cool. And he made a brief appearance in Savage Wolverine in Marvel now, but need to see more of him. What's funny is the guy who was drawing Savage Wolverine, Frank Cho, I went to a signing of his not too long ago, and he signed that issue for me of Savage Wolverine. I think it was 3 or 4 with the Man-Thing. And he told me, he said, it's funny you mentioned that. I've pitched an idea to Marvel, a pretty cool Man-Thing story. I hope they let me do it. And I hope they let Frank Cho do it too. Looking forward to hopefully seeing that. The DC characters I'd like to see more of. This is really ironic, actually. I would have said the Creeper. I like him, and I don't think they do enough with him. But supposedly, supposedly next month is, or September rather, is Forever Evil month, and Justice League Dark is going to be the Creeper #1 for that month, and they're bringing him. He's already had a brief cameo, but that book's going to be all about him. So hopefully they're bringing him back full force. Another DC character I'd like to see, although this is a Brave and the Bold issue, they could bring that book back too. It's on me. But actually, I think they did, or was that World's Finest that Perez was doing? Anywho, they need to bring back Plastic Man. Love that character. Think he's cool. If you guys haven't seen it, somebody, I think it's the guys who made SpongeBob, actually pitched a pilot to Cartoon Network that I don't know why it didn't get picked up if you watch the pilot, but you can see it on YouTube, and it's pretty well done. And Kyle Baker also did some great work on Plastic Man, and I think back around 2006, 2008. But and he won some Eisner Awards for his work, so you should definitely check those out. I think it's 2 of the trades are like Plastic Man on the Lam and Rubber Bandits. They're both really good. But recommend Plastic Man. And rumor is Ethan Van Sciver loves Plastic Man. He sketches them all the time and always talks about wanting to relaunch it. So yeah, let's see it. Love to see Van Sciver relaunch Plastic Man. The last 2 books I'd like to see more of. DC's Warlord, the Mike Grell character, and they've relaunched it a couple times unsuccessfully. And they did one around 05 and 06, something like that, with Bruce Jones and Bart Sears, and that one wasn't very good and it bombed. They relaunched it in 08, I think, with Mike Grell writing and Joe Prado drawing, and I actually thought that series was pretty good. Didn't even make it 20 issues, I believe, but I'd like to see him do a proper Warlord launch with a top-tier team. This book I also want to show to any fans of, anime or manga or, martial arts movies who know the Lone Wolf and Cub story. This is a really cool relaunch, or kind of new take on the idea, I should say, from 2002. It was by Dark Horse, called Lone Wolf 2100. Futuristic take on it by Mike Kennedy, who also wrote, he wrote some Aliens vs. Predators mini, and a bunch of minis, and a bunch of Star Wars stuff for Dark Horse. And he did the Superman Infinite City hardcover graphic novel, too. The art is by Francisco Ruiz Velasco, who I really like his art. It's kind of a manga style. I really like it in this book. And he did the Inhumans miniseries, 4-issue mini for Marvel. I guess it was about 4 or 5 years back. But this is a really good book. It only went about 11 issues. And you pick up the trades. If anybody likes Lone Wolf and Cub, pick this up and read it. It's good stuff. My answer to the second question of White James Brandon's is much simpler. And it's, who would you like to see less of? And I'm going to bend the rules a little bit here and say 2 creators who I'd like to see less of. And the first one's Brian Michael Bendis, who I really like a lot of stuff he used to do, but I think he's just been getting dry lately. His new X-Men book's good, but this Age of Ultron, it just sucked. And I felt like it was a 10-issue sales pitch for yet another crappy shoot-off of an Avengers team. I think they just need to make 1 or 2 Avengers books, make them good. Stop these convoluted corporate influenced storylines and just give us good stories that they're capable of, not a 10-issue sales ploy. But yeah, Bendis screwed up the Age of Ultron, and do not like it. So I'd like to see less of that, and like I said, less of these branched off Avengers teams. Just make 1 or 2 books. Keep New Avengers, because that's probably the best of the Avengers books in Marvel now, in my opinion. But yeah, Bendis, get your act together and write good books, or get off all the main stuff. And this is somebody I really don't want to see too much of in comics anymore, and that's Mr. Rob, I single-handedly got Deathstroke canceled, Liefeld. Don't like his art, don't like his attitude, don't like his behavior. Just really like that he created, X-Force and Deadpool and Cable and some decent characters. But, yeah, don't want him touching any of the characters I like at all. So, those are the guys I'd like to see less of. And that is my entry for White James Brandon's contest. And thank you all for watching. Good luck on the contest. Take care.